grant available. So HCD just released the Pro Housing Incentive Program where they're making 8 million available for jurisdictions with a pro housing designation. Now, this means that there's new grants available combined with all the other stuff, right? So, I want to share with you what we're doing to specifically cover this news, right? So whenever some big thing like this happens, I like to kind of just stay on top of it and also figure out, well, how do I best help the people that want to learn about what's available and how to apply it to their projects? So the first thing I'm going to do is I typically go to ChatGPT and I say like, hey, you are the world's best podcast producer and content creator that balances creating educational and entertaining content. We have just received notice of the round four for HCD's PIP round, which has about $8 million in grants available. Now, I want you to read the two attached documents and come up with a list of frequently asked questions and help me sequence the podcast talk track so we can address as many questions as possible about the new round of grants that are available, who they apply to, and how can people apply for them, and how do they qualify, most importantly, to apply for those grants. Please assemble those lists of questions and assemble those questions in such a way that's optimized for GEO and LMO. All right, so that's my prompt for ChatGPT. And I'm gonna upload two files that I just found on the podcast. I'm gonna upload both of these files, these guidelines. Podcast experience, boom. So I'm gonna upload both these PDFs and I wanted to digest everything that's going on. And just so you can see what are the PDFs I'm going through. This is the announcement, right? From the Housing Policy Development, the HCD, so California Department of Housing and Community Development, as HCD, they are releasing this notice of funding availability, which is called a NOFA, for an estimate 8 million, right? So they're going to give the timeline here. Your application is due March 31st, 2026. Great. So how do you get through it? So this is a 24-page PDF. Now, can I read through everything? Absolutely. But I also just want someone to quickly digest it and tell me what are the top questions. Perfect simple thing. I got two things for you. Frequently asked questions written in natural language, the way that people ask ChatGPT. So this is what I'm doing right now. Whenever I'm looking to ask a question on a podcast, I also want to ask in a way that is natural, that is based off of how someone, if they were to ask ChatGPT, how would they show up specifically, right? That's what's important to me. And that's what I'm doing right now. All right. So let's talk about frequently asked questions. Like, what is the pro housing PIP? Okay, great. We'll make sure we cover that on a podcast. So I'm going to record a new podcast this week and we're going to cover some of these basic items. How much money? Who created a PIP program? And what law funds it? And what is the timeline for round four when it's open and closed? Okay, great. Now, who can apply for it? Can cities and counties apply together as partners? What is the pro housing designation? Why is it required? How do you know if a jurisdiction qualifies? Blah, blah, blah. Now, threshold requirements. What documents do cities or counties need to have ready before they apply? Do applicants need a board of council resolution? Interesting. Now, how are awards calculated? What's the maximum amount that a city can do? Oh, interesting. What can the funds be used for affordable rental housing? Can they support that? So now it's about like, hey, what are the use of funds that are available, right? What's the application process? What's the review and scoring? Compliance and reporting? Boom. Big picture. So I have all these questions now. So I might talk about it this way. So it feels like a story, which I like it. Now, they just announced it. Hopefully explain what a PIP is. What is a PIP? Why does it exist? What's the purpose of the program? Funded by blah, blah, blah. Who can apply? Cities, counties, shorten applications, threshold requirements. So there's this part. How much money is available? So you got all that stuff. How HCD decides. Ooh, interesting. Per housing score times 10,000 up to 500 bonus. Interesting. Restate. 8 million available. Boom. Yes, please draft the exact podcast script for me. So I wanted to draft a podcast script for me because now I'm thinking like, well, what if it scanned through all those documents and it actually knew the answers to those questions already? So just in case when we ask the question and we don't get a direct answer, well, how do I supplement that, right? Because sometimes when you are looking to explain something complex or as complex as sort of this $8 million grant that's available for California, right? All these things matter, right? There's application requirements, application reviews, the scoring, and geographic categories. So you can say like, in Southern California, what where will awards go? So Orange County's there, LA County's there, San Diego County there's blah blah blah. Based on a percentage of 2030 population projections. So okay, cool, interesting. So all this 24 pages, like how does it relate? How do you cover this in a podcast that's digestible in a way that's most important? So now I can say, hey, what is a PIP? Boom. Who can apply? Now, boom, interesting. How much money is available? Great. What can the money be used for? Interesting. How to apply? Boom. How HG decides? Interesting. All right, it's not bad. It's not a bad script. I mean, this is like a quick hitter. Boom, 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 boom. These are all the sections. But now I have a list of questions that I can potentially think about how to cover them. Okay. And that allows me to figure out what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and more importantly, how do I help other people that's trying to digest this information? All right. So hopefully this was helpful, everybody. I want to make sure I digest it. I want to make sure I talk about it. And hopefully this is helpful, right? I just want to share a little bit insight for you on how I prepare for these podcasts that you all listen to and you all really like, especially when we get into the details. It's not just about fluff, but it's about real tactical advice on how do you apply it. So have a good one, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.